Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Jakari Jackson here in the Infowars.com studio. I'm joined by our associate producer, The Alex Jones Show, Ale. Now, if you've been on a plane since 9/11, you've had to experience the TSA. And there are many things we can say about the TSA, from the articles about the supervisors stealing iPads to the targeting of attractive women by the TSA agents for groping. And now we see the reports of the very long lines that are happening at these facilities, in particular Chicago. And Ali was recently in Chicago, and she wants to share her experience. So basically, you went out to catch a flight this weekend, and just tell us what happened.
Well, I was there to meet up with my family for the weekend, and on my way back, I show up an hour early to get my 8 p.m. flight, and I notice immense lines going from one side to the airport to the other and just circling around and around and around. And I immediately knew I was not going to make my flight, and I asked some TSA people, hey, my flight's in about like 20 minutes. Can I skip the line? And they all just seemed kind of casual and just nonchalant about the fact that I had to make my flight. They didn't care. And that is what bothered me the most, because these people were just trying to get home or trying to go to their conventions or work and stuff. And the TSA just seemed to not care about the 4-hour wait that you had to make before even stepping inside the airport.
And the crew here, we travel quite a bit. I've endured many TSA lines. And I do agree, it's a very nonchalant attitude, because basically they're there for, 8 hours or whatever the day is. And if you miss your flight, there's really no skin off their nose. You have to go handle that with the individual airlines, so they don't have a lot of skin in that game. And I think many people can relate to this. Now, in particular, we've seen videos of the most recent thing that happened this past weekend. We've seen images of people sleeping on cots.
Yeah.
It was so bad out there. So just from your personal experience, how did this impact you, and was this something that you would expect to happen?
I was definitely not expecting this to happen, because I was just flying domestically. So, usually you're there an hour before and you'll have 30 minutes and everything. But this time I was just so impressed, and a lot of people were mad, and you can tell the energy in the room was just horrible, and people were just trying to get to where they needed to go. And it affected me because obviously I have work today and I had to be here. And the next flight to Austin was today in the morning. So I'm actually like coming straight from the airport after waiting an hour and a half at the airport TSA line. But I arrived at 3 in the morning just to make it at 7 a.m. If not, I would probably not made it again.
So when you went back to the airport, it was still a long line?
Yes. TSA opened back at 3:30. I got there at 4. So not even 30 minutes, and there was already like an hour line.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we've seen many things come out of the TSA. They're saying that they're having some labor disputes, financial disputes. They're saying that they need more money again. It seems like every couple of years they come up with a new scheme to say that we need more money. We need more money for the scanners or for the agents. And there's speculation that maybe a labor dispute, a financial dispute, had something to do with these long lines in Chicago.
Yeah, I believe so, because I asked, and when I went to rebook my flight, I asked what was the cause of these long lines, and they told me that they were having like a strike, but it wasn't like an official big strike. They were just doing it in order to, I guess, get some media buzz, because at 3 in the morning, there was news reporters there interviewing people. I kind of, didn't want to be in front of a camera at 4 in the morning. I was like, I'm just going to wait until later. But it was it's pretty self-explanatory. You could see I took some videos and pictures of the long lines, and every person I talked to was like, I waited 2 hours in line and I missed my flight. I waited 3 hours and I missed my flight. Everybody was missing their flight. So I'm 100% sure that airlines suffered in some way, and they're just trying to get more money, because you saw their attitudes of like laughing and not caring that people were waiting for 4 hours. And it also kind of made a lot of people angry, and that creates a lot of chaos. And that's what they want. They want people to like go and complain, and
they're trying to make a scene, basically.
Exactly. And the thing that bothered me the most as well is I researched it, and they said that it's the people's fault for not being ready to go through the lines, and that made me so mad because I'm always super ready. I'm always like passport in hand, and I'm ready. Take off my shoes, and they blame us for
Well,
their lack
it's always some excuse. Like I said, we travel quite a bit, and mainly my experience is when I go to the TSA line. That you have people who are, I guess, trained by now. Your frequent flyers or people who have flown enough. They pull out the laptops, they take the shoes off, they take the belt off. Every now and then a guy may forget to take off his belt, but that's not a huge burden of time to rip off your belt. So the fact that they would blame you, the individual, or the passengers in general, I think is quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have some videos here that I want to show our viewers of just various experience that us and the crew have had going through these TSA lines.
I did you guys a favor by letting you go through the door. Now you're doing this?
I do this all the time, yes.
We have to do it because he opts
Well, I
out.
have to do this to protect my rights.
Yeah, but we're not offending him, right?
I find this whole process offensive.
Well,
Yes, I find it offensive in America to be considered a terrorist and have to prove my innocence. So I'm going to keep doing this. I have a right to do
Yeah,
this.
okay.
If you look at the TSA, it says I have a right to do this.
If he agrees, have his face up there because we've been slandered
No.
a lot when we've done our job and we've done the thing.
You know what? There's nothing about him agreeing
Yeah.
to doing his job. Police and TSA, we're allowed to film. It's our right to do that. You are servants of the people. You are not separate to the people. We have a right to film you. We will continue to film you. There are cameras everywhere.
I know.
Everybody's
We got 'em
being...
everywhere.
Yeah. So these are our cameras. These are the people's cameras. You got a problem with that?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just told you I did you a favor.
I understand. I understand you think you did us a favor. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
And that is just some of what we've had to endure as individuals. We've seen many other people go through these lines. And this is just a matter of time that we're talking about here today, but we've seen videos of, I believe it was Miss America or one of those type people. She went through the line. She said she was basically molested by the agent there, that they touched her, private parts when she went through. And she was basically told to, toughen up. This is what we have to do for America. And I think that Al-Qaeda, ISIS, whoever our foreign enemies are laughing at us when they see these type of videos that we have to subject ourselves because we were told back in 9/11 that these people hate us for our freedoms. I don't see too much freedom when you go to the TSA line. You have to get patted down. You have to go through the X-ray scanner and have people search through your bags.
Yeah, I've seen videos of like kids getting patted down too, and they're like not even wearing, a backpack or anything that you might be able to hide things in, or I don't know. But another thing I found interesting is, there's those pre-TSA lines.
Mm-hmm.
Those were also like super long. So what's the point in like getting the
pre-check.
the pre-check when it's the same length and they do the same types of scan? It's ridiculous. Their whole system is just unnecessary, especially for someone like me. I live in Mexico. I travel back and forth all the time.
Right.
Like my family's in Mexico, so I go and visit them, or I travel. I like traveling, so I've done the airport thing countless of times, and every time I feel like I'm a terrorist. Every time they question me with, "What are you doing? Where are you work? Why are you going? What address?" And all this stuff, and I'm just like,
I live here.
Yeah,
I'm like, why don't you do this for the people actually coming in here and doing the bad stuff?
Exactly, and I've like actually even met up with the same people that have I've made conversation with the same people like a couple times, and it's like you know me. I've gone through here a couple times. Like I've talked to you, but
you
they
just become
forget.
a face in the crowd at that point.
Exactly.
I just want people to think about this as we move forward towards the summer months. There's gonna be a lot of travel going on. And it's not just TSA at the airports. There's also TSA. They're going to train stations, bus stations. When Josh and I went up to New Jersey for the Super Bowl, there's TSA at the train stations, checking people down, opening your box. What do you have in this box? Like, we didn't have any gear on us at the time. But, I mean, these are the type of things that are starting to spread. And now we see the guys going to football games, or TSA-style security going to the football games, the sporting events. There's even rumors they want to start going to malls and other things. And I just want people to look at these images of Chicago and say, if you put these guys all over the United States of America, whether it's the shopping malls, the sports stadiums, wherever, this is what's going to happen. These guys can have a labor dispute anytime and say, hey, we're going to suspend our operations, and this is what you're left with.
They're abusing their power for sure. They know that they can make it slower, and they're doing it because they can, and to get more money, like we said earlier. It's just, they know, and it's not fair for people who just want to get home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ale.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, well, that's it for our special report. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again right here at the Infowars Command Center.
A lot of people ask me what is the most important area of Infowars that runs the whole operation that is having such a big effect against the globalists. And I've said it over and over again, it is you, the listeners and the viewers, that send us the intel, the news tips, that support the broadcast, that spread the word. You are 90% of the operation or more. You don't stand beside us, you stand at the heart of Infowars. When I talk about the people at Infowars, from customer service, the shipping department, being just as important as our anchors, our researchers, our investigative journalists, and myself, it's absolutely true. Without this team that we've built over the last 20 plus years, we wouldn't be able to do any of what we've been doing. And that's what's so exciting, because we finally built up to a point where we now have the launch pad. Introducing AutoShip for InfoWarsLife.com, a new way to save time and money when you stock up on InfoWarsStore.com products. Again, ladies and gentlemen, when products are sold out, you're unable to get them, sometimes for months, but we hold back the products for people that have already signed up for AutoShip. When you choose AutoShip before checkout on your order at InfoWarsStore.com, we'll give you 10% off and give you guaranteed delivery of out-of-stock products that are on your AutoShip list. Plus, we're giving you free shipping on all orders above $50. Listeners have been requesting this for years because it's so easy to forget to reorder the products when you need them each month. Now it's finally here. AutoShip at InfoWarsStore.com and InfoWarsLife.com. It's easy. Go to InfoWarsStore.com, select your favorite product, click on the AutoShip, and choose how often you want us to send you another order. As you know, I coined the term 360 win, and with the new AutoShip feature at InfoWarsLife.com, it's a sure win. You add to that free shipping on orders of $50, it is a can't lose. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and save 10% off on your next InfoWars Life order by selecting AutoShip at checkout, and get free shipping on all orders above $50. That's InfoWarsStore.com, or call toll-free 888-253-3139.